For more than 8 days, hundreds of Iranian missiles have streaked toward Israel. The barrages have not abated, and there is still no hint of a ceasefire. Major cities, Tel Aviv, Haifa, and others, have endured blow after blow, a scene that is already becoming routine amid the expanding national chaos. Millions of Israelis now live on edge. Sirens wail. People sprint to underground shelters, afraid they will be the next victims of rockets that arrive without warning. Beyond the sheer number of successful Iranian strikes, these salvos highlight a sharp improvement in Tehran's True Promise 3 strategy. It appears that Iranian planners have located a seam in Israel's air defense umbrella. Where the Iron Dome and Arrow once intercepted most incoming rounds, the shield is clearly thinning. Iran simply sustains a slow, methodical pressure and gradually strengthens its hand in a war that shows no sign of ending. More alarming still, Iran has begun fielding new classes of missiles and bombs, systems never before used at scale. The upgrade is not only about raw destructive power, it poses a fresh psychological threat for which Israel has no playbook. Children clutch stuffed animals in dimly lit concrete rooms, while anxious parents scroll through phones, hoping for updates that never come. Grocery shelves in once vibrant neighborhoods stand half empty, and diesel generators hum through the night, providing thin strips of light in streets that used to glow with cafes and neon signs. Veteran engineers who once maintained Israel's formidable anti-missile grid admit, off record, that the incoming trajectories now resemble broken glass, ricocheting in ways the algorithms were never trained to compute. One commander compared the new warheads to digital ghosts, visible for a heartbeat, then gone, then suddenly on your doorstep. The sky over Tel Aviv has ceased to be a refuge. It has become a source of terror. For the first time since the fighting erupted, Iran has unveiled Shahab-3 medium-range ballistic missiles that are not built to topple a single structure, but to rattle an entire metropolis. This weapon is no gimmick. Its reach is roughly 1,300 kilometers, and its nose cone does not carry one warhead but thousands. More than 1,400 submunitions bloom above the heart of Tel Aviv. Most disturbing, the missile does not detonate on impact. It pauses, then bursts in mid-air, 2 to 5 kilometers up, letting hell drift downward. Cars ignite, walls crack, power grids fail, alarms blare non-stop, not because the missile kills in an instant, but because its effect is to shred peace itself. Shahab-3 is engineered less to kill than to disrupt, and Israel lacks a counter. Arrow 3 was designed for a single large warhead. This time, it missed. Iron Dome excels against short, measured rockets, not against fast, fragmenting storms. Only now does Israel grasp that it faces a threat it never modeled, not because of speed alone, but because one missile can make an entire country feel unsafe. Shahab-3 is a message about how deeply a sense of security can be stripped, and that security is eroding second by second. Fresh bad news follows. After Shahab-3 battered Tel Aviv, it is Haifa's turn. Reports confirm that Iran has officially fired Saghil-3 solid-fuel ballistic missiles, faster and nearly impossible to stop. One round slammed into the Channel 14 Field Bureau, a linchpin of Israeli news. Yet the blast did not end there. Another missile struck a mosque in central Haifa, unleashing screams, dust, sirens, all in one deafening instant. Order vanished. During lulls between sirens, social media feeds fill with shaky footage of flaming contrails slashing across sunset skies and hashtags swapping advice on which basements still have potable water. Volunteer medics move from shelter to shelter, patching lacerations and comforting the shell-shocked. Haifa's famed Baha'i Gardens, usually a cascade of serenity, now lie under a pall of dust. Broken glass crunches beneath boots of emergency crews as they search apartment towers for survivors still buried under collapsed stairwells. What makes the moment even darker is that Sejil 3 is no ordinary rocket. It is a brute with a 2,000-kilometer reach, able to shower all of Israel and even parts of southern Europe. It sliced through Israel's layered defenses. Even vital bases were mauled, an intel office knocked offline. Haifa became the newest scar on the map. On television, analysts debate whether the crisis marks the dawn of a new missile age, one where quantity merges seamlessly with quality. Relentless volume pair-matched with precision guidance. Diplomats shuttle between capitals, yet each new round seems to bury negotiations under fresh layers of concrete and smoke. Sejil 3's menace is not merely its velocity, it is its brain. Carrying up to 700 kilograms, it can deliver a huge warhead while flying low observable. Sejil dances past radar, slips under Iron Dome, sweeps beyond Arrow 3. It is designed for shoot-and-scoot tactics. Launch, relocate, fire again. No pattern, no warning. Israeli crews can only guess, never fully prepared. Today, Sejil 3 has pounded a city and hammered the national psyche. June 18th stands as a silent but thunderous alarm. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps publicly heralded the launch of Fatah-1, its pride-filled hypersonic ballistic missile, hitting strategic Israeli targets with chilling precision. This was not a mere test, it was a brazen flex of strength. Though billed as its first combat use, Fatah-1 traces go back to 1 October 2024, when a lone round arced toward Jerusalem during an early phase of the wider confrontation. Once dismissed as a limited probe, those doubts are gone. Fatah has entered the fray. Fatah-1 is no ordinary round. It is a velocity demon, Mach 13 to 15, the first hypersonic ballistic missile created in Iran, engineered by Guard Corps scientists. At more than 5 times the speed of sound, it can still bank, dive, and slip past radar before defenders even plot its course. 12 meters long, able to fly 1,400 kilometers, Fatah-1 can blanket nearly all of Israel in under 7 minutes. With a 200-kilogram payload, it is not just fast, but lethal. Its warhead carries an AGV, a hypersonic glide vehicle, allowing last-second trajectory shifts. Even seconds from impact, it can dodge interception. Amid the hundreds of arrows raining on Israel, one ballistic missile drew the world's breath. Fatah-2, a hypersonic upgrade that punched straight into the Israeli Ministry of Defense. The strike marked a watershed, underscoring the edge of Iranian missile craft on the modern battlefield. Fatah-2 is a medium-range ballistic weapon packing a hypersonic glide vehicle, screaming at Mach 13 to 14. With a span of 1,400 to 2,000 kilometers, it left Israel's defense web reeling. Built expressly to seek out anti-missile nodes, it features vectoring nozzles and solid propellant for extreme maneuvering, both in and above the air. AGV tech lets Fatah-2 twist its path until the final heartbeat before impact, slotting into strategic assets, air bases, command posts, intelligence hubs, guided by satellite links and onboard sensors. Its accuracy renders conventional radar almost blind. Further advantages stem from its solid first stage and glide vehicle burning specialized fuel, trimming launch prep far below that of liquid propellant cousins. That speed to fire grants a decisive tactical edge, especially against snap Israeli counterstrikes. All the while, the missile storm shows no sign of easing. Every passing second deepens the nightmare for Israeli civilians. Sirens and booms keep reverberating, and panic has become routine. Some 8,100 Israelis have fled their homes, seeking refuge from the menace that stalks their skies. Iran's relentless salvos have razed more than 25,000 structures, reducing swaths of cities to rubble. Israel's Compensation Authority has logged over 25,000 formal claims, each detailing damage to homes, offices, and public works now in ruins. The scale of destruction is unrivaled in modern Israeli memory. Worse, citizens find themselves caged within their own borders. The government has barred overseas travel amid extreme security concerns. Ben Gurion International Airport is shut until further notice, leaving millions stranded in a tense limbo. International relief convoys, once accustomed to post-earthquake zones, now queue outside Israel's northern border crossings, carrying portable water purification plants, trauma kits, and child-size gas masks. The Red Cross warns that if power grids collapse completely, hospitals could be forced onto rationed electricity within days, jeopardizing dialysis patients and neonatal incubators alike. Every new missile, doctors say, steals not only brick and steel, but minutes of life. Inside Israeli command centers, officers shuffle colored pushpins on digital maps, trying to predict the next launch corridor. Yet, every dawn brings a novel azimuth, a fresh angle of attack, leaving strategy documents outdated before the printer cools. Residents of small desert towns, once considered beyond the reach of Tehran's arsenal, now report hearing the distant thunder of impacts. Bedouin herders, unused to air raid protocols, have begun erecting makeshift berms around tents, turning open dunes into improvised fortresses. Meanwhile, Israel's air defenses keep eroding. U.S. officials, quoted by global outlets, warn that if Iran maintains this pace, Israel could exhaust its Arrow 3 interceptors in the near future. Without adequate shields, a single missile could turn an entire city to ashes.